Should we look at the camera?
You can look wherever you like. We're live right now.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
By the way.
Comfortable.
So let's go live on the Insta. There we go. We're live on Instagram, and we're live on Facebook, and we're live on LinkedIn, and we're live on YouTube. Exciting stuff. Exciting stuff. I just got to close that out. All right, Jenny, you ready?
Yep.
Okay, I'm going to play a little intro, and that'll be recorded, so don't talk during the intro or the outro or my sweet laser tunes that I'll be playing when I introduce our sponsor.
They are sweet.
Here we go. You're listening to the Grow Clinton podcast. Grow Clinton is a 501c6 nonprofit economic community development and tourism organization based in Clinton, Iowa. For more information, visit growclinton.com. Again, that's growclinton.com. Now, back to the show. Well, hello, everyone, and welcome back to the greatest podcast on the planet Earth. That's right, folks, the Grow Clinton podcast, brought to you by Grow Clinton, small nonprofit organization focusing on community development, economic development, and tourism.
Tourism.
I know I say it kind of funky.
No, you say it right.
I'm an East Coast kid, so I got a little, I would say tournament wrong.
But you told me spell it,
yeah,
and you're right.
I don't know.
That's right. That's how you should say it.
We don't have to get to which state's older in the union.
I think we can guess you're on the East Coast.
State of Pennsylvania. So, yes, we are back for another episode. Jenny, this is episode number 81.
We're getting so close to 100.
We got to figure out what we're going to do for one hundo.
Something
I think I'm going to
big.
run a tux, and you're going to have to wear something sparkly.
Fancy. I got it. I got that.
All right. We're going to do it. We're going to make it happen. So, Jenny, you know what's also sparkly?
Miles Communications.
The Grow Clinton podcast is sponsored by Miles Communications. That's right, folks. For all your internet needs, check them out. MilesTelephone.com. Again, MilesTelephone.com, offering high-speed fiber internet and empowering the Grow Clinton podcast. Excited for episode 81, our guest today, Jenny.
Yes. You know what else we got coming? Snow.
Don't talk about it.
I shouldn't have said. I didn't say it 3 times.
I know. So we got a little bit of snow coming, but we can't complain because so far this winter we've had a very mild season.
Right.
So we'll take a little bit of snow. I'm just going to have to figure out where my shovel is.
The farmers need it, but they can get it from my yard if they want it.
Snow. My father's flying up from Key West, actually.
He is.
He is. He's coming to visit. He's on a plane right now.
Is he really?
Flying into Chicago. So hopefully his plans to rent a car tomorrow and head to Clint's home. But
he's a good dude.
We'll see how that goes with all the
nice.
snow coming. So yes. So today we have Mindy and Savannah in the studio from Clinton National Bank. And they're here to talk about some great stuff regarding banking, the trust department, and what you offer your many, many customers around the greater Clinton region. So thank you so much for joining us in the Grow Clinton podcast.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you.
You guys sound stoked.
Woo!
There you go.
This is my first official podcast, I think.
Is it really? Yeah. We always forget to ask that if this is your first one.
History in the making for me.
All right.
I just have to say your intro was amazing.
You like that? 81 times of doing it, and I finally got it right, I think.
It had a great beat.
You know that was all me. I'm the one who's got that all together.
Jenny did all of that stuff.
Right?
Yeah. So.
No, that's a joke. Inside joke.
Clinton National Bank. You guys been around for a little bit, right? How many years has it been?
160 years this year, actually.
160 years.
It's a long time.
That is a long time. So kudos to you and your entire team and all the things you've been able to do over at Clinton National Bank. But what are we talking about today?
Well, I come from the real estate department, so that was my intention today, was talk about all things real estate.
That's a hopping market right now. I mean, I don't know if it's
people are buying, people are selling.
They are, but it's such an interesting market right now too.
It is
hard to understand a little bit.
I think that people have finally realized that 6% rates aren't super scary, and that it's an okay time to buy. You can always refinance later.
True.
I had somebody say to me one time, marry the home, date the rate, and I loved that.
Marry the home, date the rate.
Oh,
I love that too.
I do too. That's got to be
Consider that stolen. I'm going to
Right?
modify it,
I
but I'm
know.
going to steal
That's
it.
why I gave
Right.
credit to whoever said it to me, because I certainly
that's
didn't come
great.
up with it.
Say it again.
Marry the home, date the rate.
There you go. Write that down, Jenny.
Okay, got it.
Take
I
a note.
got
Take
it.
a note.
Mm-hmm.
But I think people they get apprehensive to buy right now because they think they're going to be stuck with that rate for 30 years. And as we all know, if the rates change, you can always refinance your home and
Right.
Get that better rate, get that better payment. So certainly an opportunity when it comes to that. I always tell the story when my parents first bought their home, it was like 18% interest rate in the 80s. And the first time they could refinance was down to 13%. And they thought they were doing pretty amazing. And I've been in banking 25 years. I've never seen rates like that.
That happened to my parents too. We moved to Clinton from Des Moines. We're from Clinton, but we lived out in Des Moines. We're moving back, and there were about 3 houses on the market at the time in 1978, and at 12% interest.
Right.
And they refinanced after a while.
People buy. Yeah.
So before we dig more into the real estate side of things, trust department, Savannah.
Yeah.
So what does it even mean?
Yes.
That's actually what I'm going to talk about.
Yes.
So I think there's a lot of misconceptions. Sometimes people think, oh, I can't go to the trust department without a trust. And that is not the case.
Well, it sounds like high finance and fancy. I don't know what that means.
Yeah, do I need a tie to come to the trust department?
No, come in your jeans, your sweats,
Tuxedo.
just at least have pants on. We're okay. And
Yeah,
so
that's optional.
required.
That's optional around here. So I'm glad you clarified that.
But, it's for everyone. Many of our customers don't have a trust. It's for your retirement account, your IRA, your kids' savings account. You have some money just sitting in a savings account getting 0.5%. We could have options for you for better rates just on, maybe you have $20,000 sitting wherever.
I have not been able to find mine.
Maybe
My
you have
20.
$5,000.
Yeah.
Maybe it's in a mason jar buried in my backyard.
But it's not for the ultra rich or anything like that. It is for everyone.
Yeah.
If you just want to make a little bit more money, we can help you with that.
Okay.
I'm a member of the Thumb Buddy program.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that is, again, the Thumb Buddy, and
Yep.
that is for littles to set up their first bank account.
Yeah. And so they're actually down the road here going to be doing an event for those Thumb Buddy individuals. And I know you had said the 160th year. There's going to be an event for that coming up soon. So, it's really about the trust department too, is just bringing everybody in, bring everybody and we can help
Everybody's
you.
thumb buddy.
Everybody.
Everybody's Thumb Buddy.
They're just full of sound bites
You
now.
can move this too if you
Okay,
like.
so what's
Yeah.
the difference? If you had to bring it down to the level where let's not say me, but somebody like me needs to understand it. What's the difference between savings account, trust account, that kind of thing?
So a savings account would be a bank product. So you're gonna have like FDIC insurance,
Right.
Up to a certain amount, depending on titling. A trust account would be more of, we would call it like more of an investment account. So you could buy things such as money market funds.
Oh, okay.
Which pay, right now they're paying between like 4.3 and 4.5%, depending upon what you buy, and you get paid monthly, kind of like a savings account, but they're not FDIC insured. So that's a big difference. And then you can buy things like brokerage CDs. So one thing I've done for some people is they'll go to this bank and get a CD, and they'll go to this bank and get a CD, and they go to this bank and get a CD.
So that is certificate of deposit,
Certificate of deposit.
not compact disc.
Correct.
Oh.
Yes. And so we can actually
can't afford
buy CDs from lots of different banks and put them all into one account. So you just have to come to us. You don't have to go all over the place.
I am 42 years of age, and I'm still wrapping my head around banking.
Yes.
The more friends I have in the banking industry, the more intelligent I feel I am becoming, and at least a little bit, I'll say well-rounded as to what it all means. But 13 years in the service, I didn't have to worry. I mean,
No.
I just,
They told you.
we had thrift savings
Yeah.
plans and stuff like that.
Well,
but
see,
I
and
didn't
that's
really
the
get too
thing,
involved.
isn't it? I mean, it's the education and not to be afraid of it. I'm terrified of that kind of stuff. But the more I get into it, like Andy's saying, the better it is, and you're there to help.
And I've actually helped people who have been in the service and they have those thrift savings plans. They looked at their account at wherever it was held and they're not making really anything. We're able
Nope,
to
nothing.
move that over to an IRA or however it was titled and put them in something that's going to hopefully generate a lot more.
Well, I'm going to come to you with my TSP because
Perfect.
I don't even know what it does for me, to be honest. So,
You still have that?
yeah, have
yeah.
it. Yeah, don't really do anything with it, but it's out there. So I've, dunked money into it for
Right.
over a decade, but I got to figure out what I'm going to do moving forward.
Well, any money saved is money saved. That's for
Yeah.
sure. That's good.
So, Mindy, talk to us a little bit about the real estate side. If I want to be a home owner and I'm scared. I'm nervous. I don't know what to do. I'm working with a realtor. Did you hear? I said realtor.
Realtor.
Not realtor, which I said
Perfect.
for years, and I got my hand smacked.
All right.
Somebody said
Realtor.
realtor.
I think that's a little
I
much.
walk into the bank, Clinton National. I meet with you. What am I looking at?
Well, Jenny hit it right on the head when she said education, because I think that's the biggest thing we have to do is educate our borrowers, help them figure out if they're ready to get a pre-approval, and if they're not, what obstacles they have to overcome so that they can in the future. And sometimes it's simply having that conversation, like, you're not ready yet, but here's what you can do to get ready. And the ones that are ready to proceed forward, I think it's just kind of explaining to them what this process is going to look like. And that's why it's great to partner with the realtors, because they also help them see things from the other side of the non-lending aspect of it. Something new that we saw come into the market in the last year was the realtor buyer agreements. That was
Yes,
something-
explain
Ooh,
this to
yes.
me. We had a couple, if you don't mind getting a little closer to the mic,
Oh,
too,
yeah,
there.
I'm sorry.
For our realtor friends, we had a conversation about this, but do you want to explain what that means?
Yeah, so a lot of times what we'll do when we're talking with them is just let them know that if they're going to go see a showing on a house that's listed, that they're going to likely have to sign some documentation with that realtor. And then ultimately, they need to pay attention to what that documentation says, because based on their assets, if they're kind of a tight borrower, they're not going to have a lot of extra cash to put it into this deal. They have to make sure they're not agreeing to a realtor commission that they can't afford. So we just kind of caution them on that, to have that conversation, to let their realtor know what that situation is as they're getting into it, so they don't sign on the dotted line to something that they can't commit to that would stop their deal from going through.
Yeah, that's stressful, too.
It is.
Now,
It
I've
is.
done, do you guys do VA loans?
We do.
Okay.
We actually partner with a company called Windsor Mortgage. They're our partners so that we can offer the VA loans. We don't actually have them in-house at Clinton National, and they're not a secondary market product that we can do through our provider there. So we've partnered with the Windsor to be able to do VA, FHA, and USDA. So
Very good.
yeah, it's great because we have people that want to use those products, and we want to be able to get them there. So
Now, I've done 2 VA loans so far, my mortgage under the VA, and it's nice because you don't have to put anything down.
yes.
But it's also not nice because you don't have to put anything down.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, when you see that, you're like, oh, this is great. And then you start seeing your statements, and you're like, I really wish I put something down on this to
Right.
pay
And-
towards the principal.
That's the thing. I mean, if you don't know what you're doing, or someone like me, look at how old I am. And this is the first time I'm selling a house.
She's ancient.
I'm an ancient woman and I'm selling a house. And I need that education. I need that help, you know,
Right.
because you can get messed up.
Absolutely. There's
Yeah.
just a lot of things that you're not expected to know, and that's what we're here for.
Right.
To help the people be able to understand what those obstacles might be or what they might run into along the way. So
Right.
No. Well, excellent. Is there anything else that I trust you, Savannah, because you work in the trust
Yes.
That's
Is there
funny.
anything else you want to share?
Because I actually put that as my favorite quote. Trust is the foundation of every relationship.
Trust is the
Ooh.
foundation of
Yes.
every relationship.
It is. You know, back the kids were for a long time just saying trust. When they tell you
Trust.
something, that you should use trust.
Yeah. Hopefully, my daughter's watching this on the Insta. She doesn't like that I call it the Insta.
The Insta.
IG, I guess.
She calls this the pod.
And IG to me was the Inspector General, so so the pod, I like it.
Yeah,
the
the
pod.
pod.
So some other things people will ask is, what's the difference between a trust department and, like, let's say a brokerage house that's in the area? And some things that we can do is we can buy institutional shares. So if you buy a share, a mutual fund, you can buy them different ways, and institutional shares may have lower internal fees. So this person may say, oh, I have that, but maybe they're getting charged 0.15% fees where they could be being charged 0.05 fees.
Oh my
Right.
God.
There's
Yeah.
different ways. There's internal fees on everything. So there's ways to help eliminate those fees so then your return is even higher.
How did you two get into banking?
I got into banking. I actually, in college, was a accounting major. And
Okay.
I got
Polar
in-
opposite of me.
Me too.
And so I really wanted to go into accounting. And my junior year, I took a class with a gentleman who taught banking. He was the CEO of a bank in the area previous, and he just talked to me about everything banking wise, and I just fell in love, and I loved it. And I just wanted to go into banking. And right out of college, I couldn't get into banking because everyone said, you don't have teller experience. You don't have teller experience. And I'm like, I can count a drawer. I can.
Yeah.
And the company I ended up working for, they gave me a chance, and I did subprime lending. So that is really high interest rate lending, mortgages, autos, unsecured lending, really, really kind of cutthroat kind of lending. And so, but it was really fun and it was really interesting. You got to learn a lot about different things and regulations and pricing a loan and stuff like that. And so ever since then, I've loved being able to help people with their finances and get them in a better position than what they came in with.
Yeah. Mindy, what about you? How did you get into banking?
So this year will be 25 years in banking for me, which I always joke around and say, I don't know how that's possible when my go-to age is 27.
Go-to age. I'm got go-to age.
Child prodigy.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
I like go-to age.
But I started at the bottom level. I came in as an entry-level teller. I actually was out at DeWitt Bank and Trust for 17 years before I transitioned to Clinton National. So I always say they grew me professionally out there and then brought me back home. Because I lived in Fulton the whole time, so I would do the drive out there. But I started as a teller, then I was a teller supervisor, became a retail banker, which basically opened up accounts and did loans, and then ultimately got into home lending. And that was my focus when I came back to Clinton National. And COVID hit, and things went crazy in 2020 with the refinance craze. And Kathy Clown decided she was done working in full time and was going to head into retirement. So that's when I took the position to head up the real estate department. So
yeah, very cool.
Yeah, so it's been a fast-paced change over the last 8 years, but I love what I do, and we love getting people into their homes. It's the American dream, right?
I love what your presence on social media too. Whenever you have somebody buy a home and you hold up your Clinton National sign that says, what does it say? They said yes to the home or something?
Yeah,
That's so
said yes
cool.
to the address and CB.
Yeah.
Yes
to the address.
That's
These
what it
guys
was.
are dropping them.
Yeah.
Dropping these sound bites. Wow.
Poets didn't even know it.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's right.
Yeah.
That two different approaches to getting into banking too. Totally different approaches. That's cool. I can tell you one thing though. English degree has nothing to do with money or numbers. Nothing.
You're not going to be in the banking world anytime soon.
And I'm not going to have money.
And I'm not going to have money. Well, let's focus on selling your house.
Okay,
first.
we'll do it.
We're going to do that. Well, ladies, I want to thank you so much. Am I missing anything before we close out the show?
No, I don't think so. Other than if somebody does want to get that conversation started with, there's a couple ways to go about that. They can call the office. Obviously, we have an online application for our real estate loans. People can go out and submit their initial information, and then we'll give them a call.
Very cool. What about the trust department? Just walk in,
Yeah,
pants
walk
on.
in,
Pants
walk
on.
in,
Pants
pants
on.
on.
Pants on, but walk in.
And you
Optional.
can call us. You can walk in. We can actually do a lot of stuff over the phone. We have electronic signatures. So as long as we can verify who you are, we can open an account for you. And we may ask you to come in and verify some things and stuff. But give us a call.
Clinton National Bank is so cool because you can, 160 years, you can leave town and come back and it's there. It's always in the same spot. You can always count on it. I love that about Clinton National Bank.
Absolutely.
You guys do a phenomenal job. And again, I want to thank you so much for being on today's podcast. If you need anything at all, you give us a call. Wow.
You did it.
And you did
I didn't even mean to.
Wow. You're natural.
I know, right?
Natural.
All right, everybody, this has been another episode of the Grow Clinton podcast. Again, Grow Clinton, you can check us out at growclinton.com. You can also visit our office, 721 South 2nd Street, right underneath the South Bridge here in Clinton, or you can hit us up via the telephone, 242-5702. Jenny, big plans for the rest of the week?
I'm just going to keep working and I hope that I can get to work because snow.
No, we can work remotely. All is good. Just be careful out there, folks.
Yes.
And listen to your weather guessers out there. And
Have
hopefully
fun with your dad.
4 to 6, thanks. Yeah, he's making the trip here. So 4 to 6 inches, I think, is what they're predicting snowfall-wise. But I did hear it's going to be light and fluffy.
Okay.
Snowman snow.
That's right.
Snowman snow.
All right, everybody. Again, my name is Andy Sokolovich. We'll talk to you soon. See ya. Thank you for listening to the Grow Clinton podcast. Be sure to subscribe and follow us on all your socials. Until next time, see ya. All right. Let me just end.